pretty intense. So guys, if you have small children in the room, I highly recommend you have them leave. The Titan submersible is an emotional triggering situation, and I have to play this clip to show the implosion. Okay, guys, I know that you guys are into this kind of nerdy stuff. What did you think of my video? Was it accurate? Um, and so, what do you think?
I mean, I didn't know it was that graphic. Like, damn. But I mean, I'm just gonna say this and how it needs to be said. I do not feel bad. I'm sorry, and I'm just gonna say it straight up. What do you think was gonna happen when you went to the seafloor? Where I don't have my controller, man. But when you went to the seafloor with a Xbox controller and something that has never been tested to go to that depth, you had his word saying, "Oh yeah, I've tested it. I've gone to the Titanic and it went with no evidence to back it up." Like, I don't care how much money I have. I would never do something that idiotic. You are going to a graveyard at the end of the day. Why do you want to go down there and see that bad? Leave them alone. They've suffered enough.
For sure. Remember that joke by Dave Chappelle? You're going to a watery grave.
Were people upset about that?
Because he was making fun of these people. Gray, what'd you think of my video based on the facts that you know? Was it accurate? Are you freaked out like Enzo? I think I may have gave Enzo a heart attack tonight.
It seems pretty accurate. I'm not freaked out. I mean, like for me, I'm not gonna go underwater into like a submarine, so I'm not like scared of it. But to piggyback off what Enzo was saying, it's like what Doc is saying right now. Like that's how much you take all that money you have, and that's what you plan to go do with it. So it's just like it's hard for like regular people to look at these people and have any empathy because like you have all this money, like you can really do anything that you want. So I think they were trying to like do something like the endorphins, the pleasure. They did. We got to do something super big just to even feel fun anymore. So they tried,
Yeah.
and didn't work out for them.
For sure. And I did hours worth of research on this, guys. John has a good point, especially being a carbon fiber hull, which had never been tested before. It wasn't bent like metal. It was a death wish. So let me be clear. The reason why carbon fiber isn't good is because of the integrity of it. Over time, it disintegrates. And also, I got to give this guy a shout out. Rich people problems. Do y'all remember how much they paid to go?
So
It was a crazy amount.
Grand?
How much?
I think it was 250 grand.
250. But what he would do, the guy who we're going to learn about, Stockton Rich. First of all, Stockton was from a long line of good stock. his two of his relatives signed the Constitution. He's like less than 1% of people in America can say that, but two of his relatives signed the Constitution. So he came from some coins. So what he would do is, if you ain't write him back, he'd be like, "Oh, there's a discount, 100,000. You can come for 100,000." He was just giving away them trips down there to Titanic like hotcakes because some of the rich people was smart and they was asking questions and they was like, "This don't sound too safe." Let me play this clip right here because I have a lot of clips to show everybody because I really want to get the story out there because there's a lot of conspiracy surrounding this. Um, this is a clip explaining. Well, let's talk about the controller. So the controller was used. I want to be clear. People are saying well, they're still investigating it. Also, to be clear, guys. So we don't really know the answer. But let me show you guys the controller that everyone was talking about.
Only 3 meters off to the port side. Stop. So, whoa, come down, come down, come down. Come down, come down, come down. Keep coming down. Okay, if you get nothing ahead of you, kick ahead, okay? Kicking ahead slowly, slowly.
Where is it?
I don't know. Just keep going. A bit of hull.
He brought us in to the starboard side and jammed us in underneath the bow. So he had us jammed good and proper. I said to him, please don't do anything, just give me the controller.
If we went straight up, we're not gonna hit it. We're gonna get damn close to it, right?
No, you are going to hit it. For sure. Chris, if you can keep an eyeball out of the port side of the viewport, okay, we're just looking for any cables, any wires.
He didn't have a lot of experience in piloting subs.
Right, it's a piece of debris, for sure. It's right above us, okay.
At that point, I got us clear, I motored 50 metres away, turned us round, and I said, that is what we were supposed to have done on the dive. And he said, thank you, I owe you one.
So, guys, that was the inside of it. It's a very tight space. What's our thoughts?
Netflix is gonna copyright strike you.
Oh, well, we'll take it down.
So that was him doing the investigation after everything happened.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he was saying at that point they were supposed to go back up. Like, was there some type of warning?
So, let's be clear. First of all, Stockton Rich, the rich asshole that made this company and device, was very arrogant. People were warning him that this device is not safe. He knew that carbon fiber had its issues and he chose not to listen. Also, that guy that was in there, he had like a really nasty lawsuit going back and forth with him because the guy was calling him out, the British Australian, the Scottish guy. He was like, look, this isn't safe. You're not listening to my concerns. You're not taking any of my advice. So he fired him. So he sued him for wrongful termination. Well, first he went and reported Stockton Rich to the the people that investigate these kind of things. I don't know the name, but pretty much it was like supposed to be no retaliation. Well, it doesn't cover against personal lawsuits. So he sued him for everything he had. Long story short. So the guy you saw talking was a captain and he's been doing ocean exploration for years and he just was being dismissive to him. That's who you saw talking. But he wasn't there obviously when it happened because he's alive.
Okay. Izzo?
I mean, he's just dismissing the experts at the end of the day. I mean, like, so if anybody out there want to go, I got the controller right here. I'll start building the sub. I'm gonna give it to you guys. Just give me the 250K and then we'll go. No, like I said, he's just dismissing the experts at the end of the day, thinking he knows best, and that's why he turned into pink mist on the ocean floor. Like I don't know this whole situation. I just knew it from the beginning when somebody said that they're gonna go to the Titanic, and I saw what the thing looked like. Like, first off, you're going to the Titanic in something made of carbon fiber, like Nora said explicitly. It has not been tested to go to that depth. It's not going to hold up. Like, yes, it's 7 times stronger than steel, but it's mostly used in airplanes don't even use carbon fiber like that. It's mostly seen in cars and like things on like where the pressures are not fucking ridiculous on like it is down there. And then 2, the porthole like that you're gonna see out of is like this big. So what are we gonna do? Like put one eye and look at the Titanic? Oh my god, look at the stern of the Titanic. Even though I can go watch a fucking movie and see what the Titanic looks like, it looks exactly the fucking same. What are you guys really going to look at?
A
Right.
watery grave.
Wow.
Also, the other thing that this asshole did was he was told you have to store this like device in good weather and you can't store it in freezing conditions. What do you think he did? He left the device there one because you pretty much they could only go in the month of June and July to give backstory. And he was supposed to move the device to better weather and he didn't store it. He just left it sitting outside. So when the next season rolled around, this was when he died, the thing exploded because the integrity was disintegrated. Like there were internal snaps. Oh, and the other thing, when he would go down in it, and I have a clip that talks about it, he would hear like popping noises. And obviously it's the carbon fiber fucking breaking. And he was like, oh, it's normal. It's normal. So can you imagine the sounds these poor people heard when they died? I mean, I guess I shouldn't say poor. There was a billionaires down there, but nonetheless, that was the sounds. It's normal. It's normal. And they believe this idiot. This just shows how dumb people are. I'm sorry. But I have a clip from CNN where they explain it better than me.
Stockton Rush at the top of the program. I spoke to Mr. Stanley just before air. Carl, if you can, describe for us what it was like when you were on Titan and the noises that you heard when you went down on it.
Yeah, so Stockton warned us ahead of time to prepare us. He told us that when he was down there, that the submarine had made many loud noises and that this was to be expected, and it was not anywhere close to catastrophic. He had also tested models at this point, and he knew exactly where the models failed, and so I didn't feel that our life was really in grave danger at that point. I feel the real failure came with cracking over time and also with the joint and water getting in there. And another thing that happened was electrolysis, because even though carbon fiber is not a metal, in some ways it behaves like a metal, that it's conductive. So the salt water in between there and the titanium flange over time would have corroded things and caused even more delamination with the carbon fiber. Unfortunately, I doubt that there's enough.
You don't think it's a coincidence? You don't think it's a coincidence that this implosion happened on the first dive of the season because of the issue that you just raised? You think it's possible salt water could have gotten in even from a previous season or
the
previous dive?
It had been
and just been sitting there the year before.
Yeah.
So you heard these noises when you went down with him. You waited a day. You wrote out an email to Stockton Rush, and I want to read some of what you wrote in this email once you were back on land. Okay. You said, what we heard, in my opinion, sounded like a flaw, a defect in one area being acted on by the tremendous pressures and being crushed, damaged. From the intensity of the sounds, the fact that they never totally stopped at depth, and the fact that there were sounds at about 300 feet that indicated a relaxing of stored energy would indicate that there is an area of the hull that is breaking down, getting spongy. Can you explain just what you mean by getting spongy, and also what Stockton Rush's response was to that email?
Well, so I mean, we were actually staying in the same house in Marsh Harbor in the Bahamas during this whole trip, and I took a lot of time to kind of digest the whole experience and send him an email specifically because I didn't want there to be any kind of like heated exchange between us. I mean, he's not the kind of character that would take criticism very well, or I wanted to have him have something that he could refer back to, and that he couldn't just start an argument, that he would have to read it. And he didn't respond in writing. We spoke about it, but we didn't.
That's
speak about
funny.
it at
That's
length,
a good
but
one.
He did take measures. He extended he canceled that year's dives and took that carbon fiber tube and cut it up, found the defects, and made a new one at the cost, I believe, of well over $1 million. He was making these tubes out of the exact same material that Boeing is making airplanes out of. I think he actually got the material from Boeing or the same supplier. I mean, he had an over 20-year background in aviation. He was a pilot at 19. He made his own composite airplane.
Right.
And I feel that's also a mitigating circumstance in this all, is that his background in aviation caused him to have he was thinking about it from an aviation standpoint, not he switched horses in midstream.
You also wrote to him. The other thing you wrote to him in that email, you said, imagine the project is self-funded and on your own schedule. Would you consider taking dozens of other people to the Titanic before you truly knew the source of those sounds? You knew that he was certainly at that time, under pressure from investors, from people, high net worth individuals who wanted to go out and see the Titanic.
He was under a lot of pressure. I met a lot of the people that were waiting to go, and he kind of brought them out there so that, I mean, they'd already given large deposits, and he wanted them to be able to see. I mean, it was also for them, I think, part of the experience and seeing, they're not just tourists, they're mission specialists. So they're involved in the whole process, and they were chomping at the bit. They're just like, when is this going to be ready? When is this going to be ready? And if memory serves me correctly, there was even one person who was terminally ill. And I mean, if he kept delaying it, this person might have died before they even got their chance to go.
Mr. Rush told you later on, he told you that there had been a manufacturing defect with the Titan's hull, the Titan that you had been on, and that he made adjustments and made a
So, yeah, guys, you heard it here first. This guy was a cheapo depot, rich, cheap asshole, like they said in the chat. He did everything to cut costs. And also, he would never listen to experts. People told him numerous times about their concerns. He would fire them. So he created an atmosphere where you could not bring critiques and challenges. That was the culture he created. Gray, have you ever had a difficult boss that you couldn't talk to? What's your thoughts?
Of course, I have a difficult boss, and I've had deadlines where you have to do stuff, and the pressure is like, okay, I have to do this if I want to keep my job. And so, like in this guy's situation, now it makes more sense to me. He was under tremendous pressure to get this done for them to go to the Titanic. One of the people was sick, and like you already got the money. So it's just like you were doing all kinds of shady stuff. You got the money, and you really didn't have the product or the vehicle in this scenario that could actually work. And you took people's money, and so now you're under a time restraint, and then you're not delivering. So it makes sense to me now.
Enzo, was he a rich a-hole or was he under lots and lots of pressure?
I think he was just cheap. I don't even think he was rich as they say he was. Because, like, I'm going to go to the chat and say what Keith said. You could have just made the thing out of titanium. That actually probably would have made it down there. I mean, shit.
Well, no, titanium is heavy. Is titanium heavy?
No, titanium. I don't think it's as heavy.
It's not? Okay, okay.
It's significantly heavier than carbon fiber. 100% it is.
Well, that was another. He was being cheap.
Why don't we just go and look at what James Cameron did? He's gone down there plenty of times.
Because he wanted to get more people down there for the same price. This is where he was greedy.
I don't even think I'm saying. I don't think he had the money because, like you said before, he dropped the price from 250. He's like, oh, all right, I'll settle for $100,000 and a pack of Snickers. Like that's what I'm hearing right now from him. So I don't think he was as rich as he was. He was probably in debt for this whole thing. That's why he couldn't store it correctly. Like maybe if it was stored correctly, I don't think it would have imploded the way that it did. But knowing him, he's that dumb that he doesn't care about hearing the cracks. And he's like, you know what? We're gonna push it to the limit. And I'm gonna try to go all the way down there. That's what I'm hearing after this. And then firing anybody who just disagrees with him, like, yo, we're trying to help you, and I'm not gonna be apologetic when I say this. You led to your own demise, well as 5 other rich assholes. Sorry to say.
Facts. I want to show you guys the clip about the design, Enzo, because like this will answer why he used what he did. Again, I don't agree, but like just watch this, and then I'll let you go first because you seem to know a lot about it.
Possible weak points in the design of Titan, the submersible that imploded and killed 5 passengers in June. Unlike most other submersibles, Titan's hull was shaped like a pill, which fit more passengers. A sphere has been the industry standard, known to be better suited for deep-sea pressures. When pressure is applied to a pill shape, it's distributed disproportionately and may cause it to collapse, similar to a soda can being crushed. The whole central cylinder used carbon fiber, not the more expensive titanium used in other submersibles. Photographs published by OceanGate show that the Titan was
Oh, you're right,
constructed by winding
titanium.
layers of carbon fiber around a cylindrical form. Carbon fiber handles stresses far better in tension than compression. It resists pulling for a while before breaking, but collapses or buckles if pushed on or compressed. Titan's carbon fiber shell was glued to titanium rings on either end. Under the immense sea pressures, the hull's carbon fiber would compress in diameter more quickly than the titanium, placing stress on the glue joint. Most deep-sea craft undergo costly rounds of inspection and testing, but the Titan didn't obtain those. The CEO of OceanGate Expeditions said that the testing stifled innovation. Until the Titan disaster on June 18th, no one had ever died while piloting or riding a submersible into the deep sea, a record that lasted nearly a century.
Dang, y'all. So he broke a record. Enzo, now seeing that you were right, he should have used the titanium. What's your thoughts?
Like even what they were talking about with the deep sea submersibles, how it's a sphere. He could have literally just made a bigger sphere, like literally just made it a big ass ball and fit the same amount of people in it, and just did it that way. And I don't think it would still. I mean, yeah, probably with the carbon fiber, how they explained it, it's just glued together to the titanium. It's just the whole design was just bound to fail. Like you're going 3 miles under, yeah, 3 miles into the ocean. The pressure's down there. There's a reason why submarines, like military submarines, can't go that far. The crush depth is crazy down there. He obviously knew all this stuff going into it and just said, you know what? I know better. I'm just going to make it off carbon fiber and wish for the best. Stupidity.
Gray, what's your thoughts?
Is there like any type of government oversight over this type of stuff?
Well, let me answer that. So what he did was his ass was sneaky. He like set up a company in like Canada, and then he was like shipping it off the coast of Newfoundland. So he didn't have to deal with America and the oversight. He had the company set up here, and then he was setting it up like he was like leaving off the coast of Newfoundland. So he doesn't really have to like deal with either country. That's how shady this guy was.
Oh, so it makes sense now that nobody was expecting this. So yeah,
No.
like now with all like this evidence, this was bound to like happen. Like there's no government oversight. You're in debt. You're taking money, and you're not like investing in like fixing it. You're actually probably spending the money. And they probably didn't talk about that. So sounds like it was bound to fail.
Sounds like he needs to be on trial for RICO and racketeering. Like that's what it
Looks
sounds
like
like
it,
to
yeah,
me.
basically.
We got the wrong person.
Yeah. I mean, wow, that's wild.
Money laundering,
Yeah.
embezzling. All right. This is my last question regarding this, guys. It pretty much has to do with is exploration worth the risk? Because they were ocean explorers. Let's watch this.
Died trying to make aviation safe and where anybody could participate safely. They died by the hundreds, by the scores, and they gave their lives trying to stretch the envelope, to exceed expectations, to go further and farther and faster. And Stockton was doing that. He was doing it in the depths of the ocean, which is the great frontier on Earth, the last unexplored region of Earth, which is so critical to our own future and critical to the preservation of life on Earth.
And Hamish Hardy.
And I'll just add. I'm sorry, Pierce. I'll just add that a lot of the criticism that's mounting up. I mean, I hear things. I've heard. I can't tell how many times I've heard about the joystick. It's a video game joystick, and it's like that's funny, and people laugh and they make fun of it. Well, that's the difference between a government-funded project and a brilliant entrepreneur who is trying to push boundaries. The government would have spent tens of millions of dollars designing a joystick that would have worked perfectly and brilliantly. Stockton Rush was able to find a joystick that worked just as efficiently by using a video game controller. And one thing I know beyond any doubt is whatever happened to that submersible, it had nothing to do with the video game controller.
Um, Before we answer that question, I want to show you guys this clip on the submersible as it was found. This is it. So that's how they found it. That's all they found because it pretty much collapsed, as you guys could see in the video. So is it worth the risk, Gray? Is this worth the risk of ocean exploration?
If the government is doing it, that he's right in the sense where he said that this is the last frontier, like because we do know more about space than we actually know about the ocean. But I just feel like him saying, "Oh, we have this entrepreneur like going on this voyage, this expedition with just these rich people, no experts, no like scientists or marine biologists, anything where it's pretty much like, people know what they're doing. Because, like you guys brought up the Titanic was actually found because the government was looking for something else. I don't
Yep.
know what they were looking for, but they accidentally found the Titanic. I think it was a submarine. They were
Yep,
looking
they were
for,
looking for a Russian submarine.
yeah, and
It
they
was
found the Titanic.
A164, I think it was.
Exactly.
It was Phil Hughes and the Glomar Explorer.
Exactly.
Wow. I didn't know that. You guys taught me something now. Look at you.
It was a CIA op.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. The government just has the money and the resources to build vehicles or submarines or whatever to be able to do this type of exploration. That's how I feel.
So, Enzo, what's your thoughts?
So I mean, I agree with what Gray was saying 100%. With this needs the ocean needs to be explored by experts in their field, marine biologists, because we do know more about space. We do know more about the sky and everything like that than we do the ocean. And that's actually what scares me at the end of the day, that we know more about that. We have, in some capacity, the technology to go down 3.5 miles to go see the Titanic. Why haven't we gone farther yet? What's really down there? What are they hiding from us? I'm always skeptical about it because the Mariana Trench they said was only, I think, like 4 or 5 miles deep. That's the deepest point of the Earth. But supposedly they got a probe down there that went farther, and it looks like the seafloor when you go past it. There's more down there. So like, why are we not exploring the ocean more? Like, there's so many things in the ocean that we have not found yet, like shipwrecks, as well as the lost city of Atlantis, and why still haven't we found MH370? Because we're not exploring it for whatever reason. So this needs to be done by the government. It doesn't need to be done by some rich dude who thinks they're gonna be the top of the world because they went and saw the Titanic. Like, let people do, and like the guy was saying in the video about space, or no, I'm sorry, about flying and everything like that. Yeah, hundreds of people died while trying to push the limits and everything like that. But then again, those were either test pilots, they weren't commercial jets that they were just pushing to the limits with paying customers on it. Yes, in the early days of aviation, people did die because of lack of technology and the lack of experience and everything like that. But before that, they had people researching, testing what's going to work, what's not. That's what we need to get back to, instead of just anybody and everybody with money. Like, I don't agree with Jeff Bezos sending people into space just for shits and giggles for 15 minutes, like Katy Perry and them. I thought it was stupid as all hell. Like, we have not gotten to that point where we can have commercial space or space travel yet.
And that video looks so damn fake.
Yeah, I don't believe it. But from
Gray
what they're
does.
saying,
Gray doesn't believe in conspiracy theories. He made fun of me when I said I didn't believe it.